Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Joshua Wren podcast. My name is Joshua Wren, obviously. Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everyone's got a lot planned for the new year. I know I do. A lot of travelling again, but that's by the by. So straight away, I want to get into some of my best bits from 2015. I don't want to dwell on the intro too long. I've got a lot I want to talk about. It's just some best bits, best album, best new band, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, if you can debate any of it, please get hold of me on Twitter at Joshua Wrencast, and we'll talk about it. Okay, straight away, the best album of 2015, without a doubt, was Sturm und Drang. If anyone knows me personally, or if you see me on Twitter, you know I'm quite a psychotic Lamb of God fan. I've been a fan of theirs for quite a while. They're by far my favourite band. I know that changes a lot of the time, but they're the band I keep going back to and back to. One of the best bands I've ever seen live. Sturm und Drang was their first album back after Randy's manslaughter charge. It was an amazing album from start to finish. Some standouts were Embers. I remember being at Download and speaking to one of the members of their camp, of the Lamb of God camp, who will remain unnamed, obviously, for obvious reasons. And he told me that Chino was to feature on a track on the album, and it just fucking blew my mind when I heard that. I've been a Deftones fan for quite a while as well, so when I heard that, I was buzzing about it, and then when I heard the song, it didn't disappoint. Ember specifically just reminds me how Chris Adler sees the world in ones and zeros. The guy's a drum machine in the literal sense of the word. He's so precise and so tight that he doesn't seem to drop the ball on any occasion. But the album from start to finish is amazing. Proper Lamb of God. Really, really good. Really quite dark as well. As you'd imagine, quite reflective, quite introspective. It was really cool. I went to see the prison he was kept in whilst he was on trial in Prague. It was a very, very strange place. But that's by the by. That's for another day. Some of the purists will really hate me for this, but I really believe that the past three, I think is it 3 or 4 Lamb of God albums, Sturm und Drang, Resolution, and Wrath. I don't think Sacrament was, but anyway, the producer Josh Wilbur, who they've worked with in their recent albums, I really think it's their best work. There is something about the early Lamb of God albums. They're so raw and brutal, and they've got a really, really nice groove to them, but the new stuff's just brilliant. Again, the purists will hate me. It's the same purist that thinks Slipknot was Slipknot's best album, or you know what I'm saying? It's that thing. It's that duality between the original and that feeling it gives you, and the experience that they get along the road and put into their new stuff. And Lamb of God just keep getting better and better as far as I'm concerned, and this album reflects it big time. It's brutal. It's fucking awful. It's horrible in places. It's claustrophobic. It sounds really pretentious to say, but you get a kind of sense of claustrophobia from listening to some of the songs. Brilliant. Can't say enough good about it. There was absolutely no question when it came to my best new band of 2015. It was Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. I've never been affected by a band this much, this quickly, in years and years and years and years. Probably since I first heard Slipknot, actually. Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. If you don't know Frank Carter, he was the former Gallows frontman. Pure Love. He's just a machine, Frank Carter. When I heard the announcement that they were playing Download, it was laid out that it was teased that the lead singer of this band stepped down from stage and got into the pit and yelled, "This is my pit now." And I knew straight away who they were talking about. I've seen Gallows a few times. Their album, Blossom, is just fucking amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Again, really vitriolic and really bitter and acidic in some places and violent, but in other places quite dark and quite introspective. I can't wait to see them Download. I really can't. But again, I've never been affected by a band this much since Slipknot, I think. So yeah, I urge everyone to check them out. Blossom is one of the best albums. It was very close, actually, whether it would take the best album, Blossom, but I had to give it to Lamb of God just because of that Chino track, to be honest. But yeah, Blossom was well up there. My best gig, or best set, should I say, of 2015, there were 2 standouts, maybe 3 I'll touch on. There were 2 definite standouts and one that nearly took it. The first one was Korn supporting Slipknot. I've been a mad Slipknot fan since they first emerged, really. It was, I guess, like 95% of the British metal scene. When I first heard Slipknot, I damn near shit my pants. It just blew me away. But I saw Korn live, and I was completely knocked on my ass by them when they supported Slipknot in February. They just played all the best songs, everything. They leveled that place. I saw them in Birmingham, and they fucking leveled that place. Again, I dare say they outperformed Slipknot. I mean, I've loved Slipknot like for years and years and years and years, but something about that set was top draw. Really, really good. See, that could have took first place, but for the top spot, it would have been Parkway Drive at Download, right down the bill on the Friday. First time I'd ever seen Parkway, to be honest. I've been a fan to a degree for quite a while. Very, very good band. Some really good stuff. And I didn't really know what to expect, and they fucking leveled Donington. They really did. Stood out head and shoulders above everyone else. And again, I know some people are going to disagree, and some of the purists are going to hate me for it, but they outperformed Muse, they outperformed Motley Crue. They did more with what they had than Kiss. I mean, I'd rather sit and see Parkway do that again than Kiss with all their fanfare and pyros and what have you. Just astonishing set. Their own stuff was great, but when they played the cover of Bulls on Parade, the place went ballistic. Fucking brilliant set. Best set of the year by far. Honourable mention has to go to Five Finger as well at Download. Just phenomenal. Again, first time I'd ever seen Five Finger. I didn't really know what to expect, and they blew me away as well. I'd never been a massive fan of their music, I'll be honest, but I guess that's one of the beautiful things about going to a festival. You get exposed to people you never really would have listened to, and that's definitely what happened. I'm a fan of theirs now, and I'd go and see them in their own set easily. I don't think there's a video online of Parkway's set from Download yet, but there's a video from, it's not Wacken, Rock am Ring, the same set from Rock am Ring, and it's very similar to the one they did at Download, so I would urge everyone to go on YouTube and check that out. It's, again, very similar, and it gives you a good representation of what they were like. Just brilliant. The best new podcast I've been exposed to, it was a Twitter buddy of mine, actually, Amy, who first turned me onto these. It's That's Not Metal. Great podcast I know I've spoken about them on my podcast before, and it seems like I'm completely ball washing them. But for someone like me who grew up on things like Scuzz and Kerrang and reading Metal Hammer, everyone knows who Bees is. I'll be honest, I first got introduced to Stephen Hill through this podcast. I wasn't really familiar with him. But Bees was my introduction to real interviews. There was no agenda, there was no fanfare, there was no soul searching. It was just Scuzz meets with him and whoever they were meeting. And I remember at the time getting most of my information about people from Scuzz meets with Bees, and it was everyone. Serge, Corey. I think he did the last interview with Joey Jordison before Joey left Slipknot. Anyway, that's by the by. That's not what they're doing on this podcast. They just pay homage to good music, and their premium specials, as they call them, are worth every penny. As soon as I heard the first one, I subscribed straight away. I can urge everyone to check them out. I'll tweet out all of this stuff. I'll tweet out all of my tops and links to them all, so everyone can see them on my Twitter. But yeah, check out That's Not Metal Pod. It's by, again, Stephen Hill and Bees. Again, really, really top notch at what they do. Like I said, I know there's been a lot of ball washing, and I said about the Roadrunner special they did about Roadrunner Records that I couldn't imagine anyone else doing it, and I really stand by that. It's not supposed to sound as sincere and lep as it really is, but the passion they bring to it, and they're just young lads as well. Do you know what I mean? They're not Parkinson, and they're not dude down the road with, I don't know, puking Jack Daniels in his hair from the night before. They may do, but if they do, they hide it well. Either way, what they do is really, really good, so I'd urge everyone to check that out. The best UFC fight, there is only going to be one winner, and everyone knows what it is if you watch UFC, so I'll hold off on saying it and just do my honourable mentions first. Cormier versus Gustafsson was a fucking brilliant fight. What a difference a year makes. Jones versus Cormier. I know I'd made the mistake of thinking Jones and Cormier was a good year and a bit ago, but no, it happened in January, and then we all know what happened with Jones, and he's back again soon, so that's great, but that was up there. Henderson Thatch was a brilliant fight. Almeida versus Pickett was an excellent fight. I love Brad Pickett. Really cool guy. I've met him a couple of times at little shows, and he's such a cool guy. Really, really nice to talk to. Unfortunately, didn't get the win then, but it was a great fight. Verdum versus Velasquez was an excellent fight. For obvious reasons, I don't think many people really gave Verdum a chance in that. I don't know why people didn't give him a chance, but people didn't, and it turned out to bite them in the arse. But that's by the by. The winner obviously was Lawler McDonald too. What an absolute war! If anyone hasn't seen that fight, there are 1,000,001 tributes and summaries and condensed versions and whatever have you on YouTube. So I'd urge everyone to go and check out Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald too. It's one of the best fights ever. I think really it got to the point where at the end of the fourth round, I think it was the fourth round, maybe the end of the third round, they were absolutely battered and just kicked the shit out of one another, covered in blood. Robbie Lawler's lip was split from nose to... It split his lip from his nostril down, so his lip was split completely in two. Rory McDonald's nose was broken to bits, his face was covered in blood. And at the end of the third round or the fourth round, the whistle went and they didn't want to move away. They both just stood and stared at each other, moving closer. And then the ref split them up. Just what a war, what an absolute war. That's the reason I watch MMA. You can watch technicians all day long, and you've got to appreciate the technicality and the skill and the finesse, but when you see shit like that, it reminded me of a bit of Shogun versus Henderson, the first time in the UFC, sorry. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. As I said, I'd urge everyone to go and check it out. And now Lawler's fighting Condit in January the 2nd. I'll be honest, I'm going with Condit. He seems like he's got more chances to win. Both brilliant fighters. It's going to end up a fight the same. Neither Robbie Lawler nor Carlos Condit can be in a boring fight. It's just not possible. They've both won Fight of the Night umpteen times. They've probably put their kids through college on Fight of the Night bonuses. But yeah, I'd urge everyone to check that out as well. That's the event I'm most looking forward to yet. Apart from Anderson Silva versus Michael Bisping in London. Can't wait for that. Got my tickets straight away. Anyway. The last one I want to do is my best personal moment of 2015. It's only going to be one thing. I'll jump straight into it because no one's ever going to guess what it is. My friend Rachel Honeywell, formerly Rachel Flood, until her marriage this year, won the best portrait at Tattoo Jam. Tattoo Jam, if anyone doesn't know, I don't think it still is, but it was at one point the biggest tattoo convention in the world. Really good weekend, run by Skin Deep magazine. I'd urge everyone to check it out. It's not that expensive. It's a really good weekend, full of stuff, a battle of the bands, competitions, girls wrestling in cake, genuinely, caricaturists, tattooists on every surface you can find. Just a fucking brilliant weekend. If you're into tattoos at all, I'd recommend it. I think in the future I'm going to give away some tickets to Tattoo Jam to come down as one of my guests. That would be great. But yeah, Rachel gave me... I was the first person she ever tattooed. I've got her first ever tattoo about 10 years ago, actually, which makes it even sweeter. But we've been friends since we were kids. And she tattooed me and she's practiced on me. And I've always followed her work and she's just been getting better and better and better. Even when she worked 2 full-time jobs, she'd tattoo in her spare time and she'd practice her art. And she's one of the people who would grind and fucking grind endlessly. And it's paid off. She got a job in a local tattoo shop and I was buzzing about that. And then she got a work published in a magazine and I was buzzing about that. And then she got her own shop, Gothica Tattoo in Redcar with her husband Alex. Fucking buzzing about that. So then this year when we were at Tattoo Jam, a buddy of ours, Steve, a physicist, he wanted a Stephen Hawking portrait. And on the Saturday, they started at, I believe it was 10, and they didn't finish until 11 that night. So Rachel was effing exhausted. Steve was in bits and pieces, but they both pushed and pushed and pushed. So when they finished, it was her best work to date. Just by far blew everyone else out of the water. I think anyway, but from her perspective as well, it was the best she'd ever done. And the fact that she was so drained and emotional, it was just a really nice moment. And then the next day to find out she'd won, it was just the icing on the cake. And she's just going to take over. I'd urge everyone to pay attention to her now, because she's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're into tattooing and into tattoos and art in general, really, I would urge everyone to look at Rachel Honeywell. She's not one of the people who specialises in anything. She's got her preferences. She loves doing watercolours and portraits and realism. But she's just an amazing artist all around. She'll do anything. She loves art. First and foremost, it's a passion. It always has been. And I think it always will be. I had a bad idea of the tattoo industry, really. I wanted to be a tattooist for quite a while, and I asked around for apprenticeships. And oddly, the resounding opinion I got back from the tattooist was, it's just a job that pays the bills. A lot of them had lost the passion, if they ever had passion in the first place. But Rachel's one of the ones who has got the passion. I don't think she'll ever get rid of it. So please, everyone, go and check her out. I'll tweet the link out to everything I've talked about again after the podcast. So that's it. It's been a fucking brilliant year. Really, really good. I can't wait for 2016. Get my gammy leg less gammy. Get back to shape. Get to powerlifting. All that good stuff. Get back to fighting. Get more tattoos. Go to more gigs. What more can you want, really? So thank you very, very much, everyone, for joining me. I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. And please take care of yourselves. Take care. Bye.